Hi, I'm the Mythology Guy, and I just saw Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Now, people who know this channel know I'm a pretty big Godzilla fan. I absolutely love the guy. I've got some Godzilla stuff in this room. I grew up with him, and so now, having seen the new film, I will say I think it was very stunning and brave of them to make Godzilla and Kong a gay couple in this movie. And that's not a spoiler, it's right there in the title, Godzilla X Kong. And you can see in the trailer, Godzilla turns pink. The two, I will warn you though, there's some very graphic scenes of the two of them making love. I don't know if you've ever seen a gorilla, and a dragon, but they get very creative with it. They do some really messed up stuff, and I was starting to think maybe the movie wasn't safe for all the kids who were in the theater, but there was a lot of screaming going on, both in the film and in the theater. Okay, I'm not gonna do this anymore. That didn't happen. Okay, real review now. I'm sorry, I had to. I've been wanting to do that since I saw the title. So, this movie was a lot of fun. I had so much fun watching this film. Wilda had so much fun watching this film. My friends who I watched it with had a lot of fun watching the film. We all had a great time. It's no Godzilla -1, and I don't think anyone's expecting it to be. I'm actually really happy that we've got Godzilla -1 as the, high art film that comes straight from Japan and does things in a more serious way and has Godzilla as the villain. And then over here in the States, we've got our fun, stupid Hollywood blockbuster with Godzilla as the good guy, where you don't give a rat's ass about the human characters and you get to watch a bunch of crazy stuff. And this movie has that. This movie has a lot of fun, crazy stuff. I think this is the most action we've had in any of these recent MonsterVerse films, and I'm all for it. That's what we want. I will say this. Godzilla is very much a supporting character in this film. This is Kong's movie. This is a Kong film featuring Godzilla. But I didn't mind it because Kong's story was really fun to watch in this. Honestly, when this movie's focusing on Kong, there's no dialogue, and yet they get so much story across. It's actually kind of surprising. I'm not going to go into spoilers now, but I'll do it later. But there is a lot that happens to Kong, involving, there's a whole dynamic between him and the mini Kong. You know this from the trailers, that there's a mini Kong in this film. And you can understand everything that happens in their dynamic without a single word being spoken. You also understand the dynamic between Kong, and again, this was in the trailer, Kong and the other apes and the villain without a single word spoken. It's done very well. You get what kind of a character Kong is, and he's very easy to root for. He's very kind. He wants a family very bad. He's even he shows mercy at times when most people wouldn't, but then of course if you go too far, he'll be like, all right, I gave you a chance, now I'm gonna kill you. But yeah, this is very much Kong's movie, and you could take most of the Kong scenes, just put the Kong scenes together without any of the human stuff and have a coherent narrative there, honestly. The action is so much fun. There was one scene I loved very much, which I will talk about in spoilers, but I'll give you a little hint as to what it is. Sorry, mini-me. But I'll talk about that in spoilers. That was the best scene in the film. I also kind of just love how this movie just has this we do not give a fuck attitude. When Godzilla is literally just going from one spot to another, he's swimming through Italy and just destroying bridges with his upper spike as he moves through. And and you can see cars and stuff on those bridges. I'm pretty sure you just killed 30 people, but nobody cares. They're yeah, Godzilla's our defender. During the fight scenes, whole buildings are being destroyed, grabbed and tossed. Godzilla's tail alone is wiping out whole city blocks. Thousands of people are no doubt being slaughtered, and the movie doesn't say anything about it. It's they know. They're you don't give a shit. You're just here to see the monsters be crazy, and you get that. But of course, it is still gonna cut to the humans here and there. The characters we don't care about, and every time it cut from Kong's story to the humans, I was like, oh boy, man, I want go back to Kong's story. I want to see Kong's story. But yeah, of course, we cut to the humans for some reason, and I will say this is probably the monster movie where I minded the humans the least, because at least they were funny in this, you know? In Godzilla versus Kong, it was very clear they had no idea what to do with Millie Bobby Brown's character. And she's a great actress, but it was so clear they didn't know what to do with her. So here they don't have to deal with that anymore. They've got significantly less human characters. And at least they made me laugh a lot of times. So I was like, all right, if you're going to have them, you might as well be funny with them. But the human story is so stupid and nonsensical, and I will get into that in spoilers. There's some stuff that happens that's just ridiculous. Like, I'm talking about Project Powerhouse. Oh, you can't be serious. Again, I'll go into that in spoilers. But let me see. I'm looking at like little notes of things to remember. One thing about this movie that was a little disappointing for me was once kind of like in the first Godzilla movie, all the villain monsters in this film are brand new monsters. They're not from the old Godzilla stuff, and they're not bad villains or anything. Like, it's just I as a big Godzilla fan, I particularly nerd out when I get to see at least some of the old stuff come back. Like, I really, really want us to start getting mutants. I really want us to start getting aliens. I know we had King Ghidorah, but I thought that was like foreshadowing to maybe more alien stuff. I really want to see some new cybers show up. I'd love to see like the humans build Mogira. My most wanted character to come back is Jet Jaguar, but there wasn't really anyone new in this. There's Godzilla, Kong, there's two brand new villains, and one other Godzilla monster does come back. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but it's someone who's already been in a previous film. And I'm going to say this also. Where the hell is Rodan? Where is Rodan? We know Rodan is, bowed to Godzilla in King of the Monsters, so where the hell is he? Or she? I don't remember what gender Rodan is supposed to be. But where the hell is Rodan? Honest to God. Like, I've been waiting for Rodan to come back, and there's been no sign of him. I don't know. Something hilarious, by the way, absolutely hilarious, that Shane pointed out during the film was, so when Kong, there's a point where Kong has Mini Kong leading him somewhere, and Kong, has like his hair has grown to look like a beard a little bit, and he's also carrying an axe with him, and so bearded Kong with an axe like this walks with a little Mini Kong towards the water, and all we could think was, boy. It was Kong of War. Boy, lead us, boy. It's just like, somebody make some memes of that, please, God. If you make some memes of that, I will love the hell out of you. But yeah, overall, this film was a ton of fun, but there's not a ton of Godzilla. There's a really, really cute scene where Godzilla, apparently when he sleeps, he likes to go sleep in the Coliseum, and he's all curled up in there. It was kind of adorable. I loved the hell out of that. I liked moments like that. So yeah, it's got a ton of fun action, but there's surprisingly little Godzilla in this film. When Godzilla does show up, he's usually just one-shotting other kaiju. Like, there's a fight between Godzilla and another kaiju in the opening that lasts all of 5 seconds. There's another fight later that I feel like could have been really epic and awesome, but it was pretty disappointing, and I'll talk about that in spoilers. But then when Godzilla does, this is going to happen. When Godzilla and Kong do show up for the final fight, it's insane. It's a great final fight. They do some crazy stuff in that fight that's I don't think has ever been done before in a Godzilla movie or a Kong movie. So it's like, cool, all right. You're having fun. You're having fun with this ridiculous premise. Like, the movie knows it's silly and over the top, and it's just going to be silly and over the top. And especially with how dumb the human story is, which I'll get into, and how completely random a certain creature shows up, and how incredibly convenient it's in the trailer, how incredibly convenient the Nintendo Power Glove Infinity Gauntlet is. Like, that shit, like, it's like, oh, how incredibly insanely convenient that you just happen to have that. That you just happen to have this fucking Transformers Bumblebee Excavator Rock'em Sock'em Robots arm just lying around. Like, jeez Louise. So yeah, it's stupid, but it's stupid fun. I had a great time with this film. I enjoyed it very much, and I think most people will enjoy it. Yeah, the human stuff is still there, unfortunately, and sometimes it goes on too long, but at least sometimes it's funny, at the very least. Like, the theater was laughing, I was laughing at a lot of the jokes. The movie felt pretty self-aware. Okay, so I don't think I have... Let me look at my notes here. I think I covered everything. Okay, so I'm going to get into spoilers now. Get ready. Rating. I'll give this film a 7. I'll give it a 7. 7 means good film, especially if it gives you what you want, I think. All right. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So, after, when Kong first meets Mini Kong, it turns out Mini Kong is leading Kong into a trap with other Kongs. And so the first thing Kong does, I swear to God, is he grabs Mini Kong. He grabs this baby and starts beating the other Kongs with the baby. I have never in my whole life seen weaponized baby in anything ever. And I'm so happy it's here. Sorry again, Mini-Me. I just couldn't believe it. I screamed in the theater. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The theater just erupted. It was unbelievable. It was great. Great scene. Whole movie is worth the price of admission just for that scene. He beat up a bunch of gorillas by hitting them with a baby. I loved it so much. And what was also nice about that scene is even though it was action, it's still like it still got to showcase some of Kong's character, and it showcased Kong's badassery. Like, these other gorillas show up, but Kong's still bigger than all of them. Like, he's in better shape. He's bigger. You can see why he's like an alpha. And but then when one of them gets knocked over the side of a cliff, Kong immediately tries to save him. And it's not just the typical, well, I'm a hero, so I have to save them. Like, you can easily put together why he'd want to save him. Kong is so lonely, and this is the first time he's seen others of his kind since, I guess, his parents died. So he would want to, like, it's perfectly reasonable that he would want to save the other apes and be like, no, I don't want you to die. Like, maybe we can work this out. And he pulls the ape up, but then the ape immediately tries to kill him again, and he's like, all right, I gave you a chance. Get over the side of the cliff. Fuck off. He does give the baby so many... The baby keeps trying to kill him, and Kong keeps giving him chances. Baby privilege. Yeah. Yeah, and I really honestly like how Kong's kindness is showcased throughout the movie. As soon as Kong gets to this, like, land of other Kongs, it's established so well without a single word spoken what is going on. You see them all doing, like, labor. You see them weak and miserable. You see heads of other Kongs on spikes. I'm guessing those are, dissenters or people who fought back. And immediately you can see that Kong wants to help them. He shows up, he immediately tries to help someone. He gets angry when one of them gets killed by the Scar King. One thing I also kind of liked was when the Scar King got up in Kong's face, I was like, dude, you aren't even as big as Kong. Like, how the hell, like, Kong's gonna wipe the floor with you? But then, like, they actually kind of leaned into that. Like, when they fight, the Scar King mainly uses his agility to fight Kong. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then it does show that Kong can actually defeat him. He starts to beat the Scar King's ass, but then the Scar King pulls out Ice Dragon, and so that's why he wins. He's a dirty, filthy cheater. And it's amazing. So, this movie understands ice better than Ghostbusters Frozen Empire because, yeah, actually, Frozen Empire, New Empire. Isn't that interesting? When the ice dragon freezes Kong's arm, even though Kong breaks out of it very quick, he immediately has frostbite all over his arm. So, more real ice physics here. And then later, like, he gets back to the humans, and I actually like that one of the human characters is a vet who specializes in kaiju. That's something that's an interesting addition to this world, so I like that idea. So yeah, he sees it, and he's like, oh god, that's frostbite. We need to help him, or he's gonna lose the arm. And then it comes the most stupid convenience of all time. I'm talking about Project Powerhouse. And then the other human's like, oh, you can't be serious. Not Project Powerhouse. And then, of course, the third human, what is Project Powerhouse? Well, we'll tell you what Project Powerhouse is. It's the most cliched shit ever. It's always like, oh, you can't be serious. You're not actually suggesting we use this insanely powerful thing we should obviously use. It's so convenient. Project Powerhouse, they were, like, after, like, Kong battled Godzilla, they actually, were creating augments for Kong to make him stronger, which it kind of makes sense. Like, I can kind of get it. But how convenient is it that the one piece they built happens to be an arm augment and happens to be for the right arm, or left, I don't know, whichever arm, like, Kong hurt, that's exactly what the augment was for. Imagine if it was a left-handed one. They'd be like, oh, crap, okay, I guess we can't do it. And not only that, but it happens to be 10 feet away. Like, it's like, oh yeah, we have it down here in Hollow Earth. We were testing it. And, you know, there's never any problems with it or anything. It's such an overpowered, insane... It's more powerful than the axe was. Because the axe can't hold the ice breath back for too long, but the arm holds the ice breath back for like 10 minutes in a fight scene. So it's like, wow, how insanely convenient. And they put it on Kong's arm, and they're like, oh, and you know what else is great about this arm? It has, injectors that cure frostbite. It's like, oh, come on! This is a moment where a little more explaining would have been good. Here, I came up with a solution to this. You could have said this. You could have said, like, what we were doing was we were building a mecha, like, you know, in order to, after Mechagodzilla, or, no, here's what you could do. Whatever. You could say either the good guys were building a mecha or the bad guys were building more mechas. Basically, a mecha was being built, but it got shut down because of Mechagodzilla. Like, people got worried after that. However, you can repurpose one of the arms of the mecha into an augment for Kong. That would make a little more sense and be less insanely convenient. Maybe do something like that. But, you know, it was fun to see him with the glove. It's fun to see him punch shit, and I did like seeing how happy he got when he got it. It's like, yeah, good for you, man. Use that weapon. Hell yeah. One scene that was really disappointing that I think could have been epic. So the way Godzilla powers up and becomes Pink Godzilla is he goes around gathering a ton of energy. And I guess the place where he gets the most energy is in the lair of a monster called Tiamat. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Tiamat is actually the name of a Babylonian god, like a dragon god. So they used that name for this monster. And it's like, oh man, he's gonna fight like this energy-dwelling, like, dragon named after a Babylonian god. This is gonna be a really epic fight. But it's over in like 10 seconds and partially off screen too. So it's like, this could have been a really cool fight. Like, just add, like, a couple minutes to the runtime and let us really see this fight, you know? Because, again, there's not much Godzilla in the movie, so I think Godzilla could have used a cool moment like that. Like, I know they're paying respect to the character, that he's totally badass and can kick so much, but I would have liked to see the fight with Tiamat a little more. Like, do something a little more with it. Please do something a little more with it. And so the monster that comes back is Mothra. And the way Mothra comes back is so just, we had no idea how we were going to bring this character back. Because the deaf girl just, like, after they discover this hidden civilization of humans in Hollow Earth, the deaf girl just walks up a pyramid and just touches the energy, and then Mothra just materializes out of nothing. Just full-grown Mothra, queen of the monsters, just materializes out of nothing. And it's like, what just happened? Like, I thought, like, there was, like, apparently there's a fucking prophecy, because there's always a prophecy. I'm so tired of prophecies in movies, especially a movie like this. Where would a prophecy come from? That, like, a girl from Skull Island specifically can bring back Mothra. And she just brings her back magically, I guess. It's literally just magic. You know, and again, you have an easy solution to this. You could just say there's a dormant Mothra cocoon in Hollow Earth that, like, for some reason never opened, and they don't know how to get it to open. And then, I don't know, you could say, like, oh, you know, the humans have, like, a piece of the previous Mothra from King of the Monsters who died. Like, they have some of her essence, or I don't know, an egg or something, and they, like, pour that on the cocoon, and it revitalizes it and brings her out. You know, there's easy ways to do this. Like, I came up with that in, like, 2 minutes. You could have done something. You just could have done something with it, and it was so out of nowhere. Mothra just shows up. The Power Glove just shows up. Like, it's insane. This is the parts of the movie that I'm saying are really stupid. But at least the fight was really cool. When everyone fought, it was really epic. They turned the gravity off in Hollow Earth. Like, I wasn't expecting that. That was cool. Even, like, Mini Kong gets his moments to shine a little bit. So yeah, overall, good time. Like, I had a good time with it because the fight scenes, which is what I came there for, were a ton of fun to watch. Especially weaponized baby. I wonder if Godzilla's going to keep the pink energy or if he's going to lose it. I don't know. We all know the main reason they made him Pink Godzilla was to make new toys based around it. Yeah, actually, now there's going to be Pink Godzilla toys and Power Glove Kong toys and Mini Kong toys, you know? We all know that's going to be the thing. But I don't mind it. I love the hell out of Godzilla. I think it's pretty obvious. And this was a very good Kong movie featuring Godzilla. So now, please put Jet Jaguar in the next movie. I will go see that movie multiple times if you do that. I would be so happy if you did that. And bring the aliens in at some point. I really want to see my boy Gigan show up, and Orga, and, like, you can have Mecha King Ghidorah, that's a thing in the old films, and build up to Space Godzilla. That would be absolutely insane. Have, like, freaking use Rodan. Can you please use the character you've already established? You don't have to establish him. He's already there. So now, yeah, we have Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and Kong defending Earth. So we've got some Earth defenders, so it would be really cool to, like, maybe see, like, an alien invasion, see some stuff, and have the humans, like, build some mechs. Like, seriously, I want Jet Jaguar. I'd love to see Mogira show up, and I'd like to see the later forms of Mechagodzilla, like Kuryu. That would be really cool. Like, I just, I'm really happy to see maybe I'm asking for too many things. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall because I love the Godzilla franchise so much, and I'm really happy that it's coming back. And I was hoping this movie would introduce one of the classics back, but they didn't really do that. So, but it's not like their villains are bad, though. I was really happy to see Kong have a family at the end of this. That's pretty cool. So they've really progressed his story. Now maybe we can progress Godzilla's a little more. But, like, what would you like to see in the next movie? Do you want the next one to be another Godzilla Kong movie? Or do you just want it to be a Godzilla movie or just a Kong movie? Or, hell, you can just devote a whole movie to freaking Jet Jaguar. I'll watch it. I don't care. But I think that's about all I have to say on the topic. I don't know how to end videos.